What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome to another uniform review video. Alright, so in this one we're going to be taking a look at the second half of the Fantastic Four uniforms here. So we have Mr. Fantastic and Thing we're going to be looking at now. So let's go ahead and hop right into Mr. Fantastic here. So Mr. Fantastic is going to get a 35% increase to all attacks, so that's going to be the best out of all of the bonuses, because we had 20% for Johnny and 10% for Sue, and then we have a 35% here for Reed. So yeah, he's just climbing up the ladder, so you just get progressively kind of better, even though I said them out of order. But anyway, we have two skill changes here. We have the third skill, which is going to get a really big change. So we're going to get super armor and all defense on here now, so that's really good. I love having this super armor on the skill here. It's going to last for 7 seconds, and we're going to have a what are we having here, like 7.5 second cooldown, or pretty close to 7 second cooldown, 7.5. So I mean, you can pretty much keep this up the entire time. He's got some iframes to throw in the mix there, so you should have the super armor up all the time, so that just gives him a little more flexibility, so you don't always have to use Thing as a support if you wanted to get that super armor previously. And now he is getting damage accumulation as well, and it's going to go up to like 50% if I'm looking at this right. 5% for each 1%, so yeah, times that by 10, so we have a 50% attack increase. So I mean, it's not as good as some of the other damage accumulations, but still, that's 50%, so I'll take it. And then what I think is the biggest change, and the change I like the most, is now he has Invincibility here for 4 seconds, whereas previously it was just a guard hit. So this is really going to help out with his survivability. So now, instead of having a damage immunity on his 5th skill and then a guard hit on his 3rd skill, he now has damage immunity and invincibility. So that's just a lot better, so he doesn't have to worry too much about getting hit by dot damage or bleed effects or things like that. So he can just take advantage of this damage accumulation right here. So it's really nice. And then the 5th skill we have, do we have any changes here with the 5th skill? Maybe that all speed. I think that looks new. The all speed down on the enemies might be the only change in terms of the text here, but let's go ahead and hop into the skill preview and see what the animations look like for these two skills. So yeah, let's see here. The 3rd skill just got a big punch. Oh, we got 2 big punches. Punch him and go back, punch again. So I mean, not bad. I mean, you're mainly going to be using this skill for the accumulation and the invincibility, so you're not necessarily going to be using it for the damage. And then the 5th skill, that looks the same and the same. Oh, okay, there we go. So we have a little bit of a change at the end there. So we have more hits at the end. Boom, that spin right there is definitely new, and it is a full iframe for the entire time, even at the end when it does the spin, so that's fantastic. A little bit longer 5th skill animation now, and it's still a full iframe, so again, that's going to help out with his survivability, and also give that little bit of extra damage at the end there. So the 2 skill changes that he's getting, I really like, because it's going to help out his survivability, which I think he needed, and he's going to get a pretty good damage boost just because of the uniform bonus, and also having that damage accumulation as well. So yeah, Reed is looking really good here with this uniform. If you have him at tier 3, I think this is a must buy. This uniform is really good for him, and I'm definitely going to be picking up this uniform, but when I tier 3 him, so I'm not going to be getting it right now. I am just going to wait till I tier 3 him, because at tier 2 I don't see it having a ton of value, just because my tier 2 Reed, he's level 70. I have all of his gears maxed out, so I have him ready to tier 3. It's just I'm going to tier 3 Doctor Strange first, so he's going to be 1 behind Doctor Strange. He still doesn't do very well for me in terms of like doing like high-end content or something like that. He really needs that tier 3 stat boost and that tier 3 skill to shine. So if at tier 2, I don't know that the uniform is necessarily going to be worth it. I mean, it's definitely going to help him, but I don't see it being enough to really have him take over as like a main clear or something like that, more boss ultimate for you, or to push higher stages, or even to save for like a later floor in Shadowland or something like that. But again, that's just my thoughts on the uniform right there. So now we're going to be hopping into Thing. So here we have Thing, and his uniform is going to be the only uniform out of 3 that applies to all allies for the uniform bonus, and it's going to give them all a 15% max HP boost. So it's going to make him even more of a support character, which is fine because that's pretty much all he's going to be used for. Sadly, I think even with this uniform, that's going to be mainly what he's used for. So he does have 5 skill changes. So let's take a look at those. Skill change here is just an animation change. I don't think any of the text has changed. Oh, maybe that speed, decrease all speed is changed. Maybe not. This one is definitely the same, so just an animation change. Third skill, we have... Okay, so the burn damage is new. The chance to miss, I think, is a little bit less. I believe it was a 40% chance before, so now it's a 30% chance. But I think it lasts longer, because I think before it was only like 2 seconds or something ridiculously short. But now it's 5 seconds, which is really good. We have 3 seconds of damage immunity, which I think that was always 3 seconds before. And the fourth skill, we have the all defense down as a new feature here, but the all defense down does not apply to world bosses. So yeah, and the way you can tell now is because they finally differentiated the text here. So we have all defense down. It says stacks up to minus 45%. If it applied to world bosses, in that parenthesis there where it says stacks up to minus 45%, you will also see the wording ignores immunity. So if you see ignores immunity, then you know that it applies to world bosses. So this does not apply to world bosses. He gets invisibility as well, but that's it. And then the fifth skill, he has some more all defense down, but look, it doesn't apply to world bosses, which is really annoying, because if this applied to world bosses, I think Thing would do really, really good in world boss, because then he could stack that up to minus 45 super quickly, and he can stack up both the skills here, so you get up to like 90%, which would be huge. Yeah, and then he's got fracture as well. Oh yeah, he loses fracture on one of these skills. The third or the fourth skill without the uniform had fracture on it, so he has one less skill with fracture. I don't know how much that'll hurt him in PvP if people are using him in PvP, because I don't really use Thing much at all, so I can't really give too much advice on how good he is. I mean, he could do okay in World Boss, because I did play him a few times, but overall, I think he's kind of just an average character, and he's mainly just used for support. So here we have the first skill. So now he throws around a little bit of concrete. We have no iframe there. His first skill used to be an iframe, but intermittent, if I remember correctly. Oh, what did I hit there? He used to kind of like charge, go into an iframe, charge, go into an iframe, and then charge again, or something like that with the first skill. So it wasn't like broken up iframe. The second skill is a full iframe now. That's good. That's new, because I don't think he had an iframe on the second skill before. Well, almost a full iframe. You're vulnerable at the end there. The third skill. Third skill, we have that 3 seconds of damage immunity. Ooh, we got Johnny flying in here and dropping some flames. That's really cool. So you don't really have to worry too much about getting hit after using this skill. And then the fourth skill. Ooh, we have iframe. We've got Invisible Woman. I love those team-up skills, though. The team-up skills look really nice. So all these skill animations are looking really good. I just don't see him being super useful, though, in like World Boss Ultimate, PvP. I mean, he's got the invisibility here. That's kind of an instant, not quite an instant iframe, so he canceled out of it. He does have definitely more iframes, so he does seem like he's going to be better in PvP, because he has more iframes, and he's got that all defense down, I guess, but most people are running debuff leadership, so I don't see that being a huge deal. And then the fifth skill. That is really cool. You like Reed like bounce. He like bounces off of Reed. Can we get a better view of that? Boing! He just like springboards off of Reed. That's really cool. I like that. Come on, target, run this way. There we go. Reed, ding! And then he goes into iframe. So it's no iframe when he's charging up. As soon as he gets flung off of Reed here, then it becomes an iframe. That's pretty cool. I do like that. So it looks like you're going to have to use the third skill here, get that damage immunity, and then hop right in. And yeah, you get into your iframe with plenty of time. You only need like 2 out of 3 seconds from that damage immunity, so that's probably why they gave that one 3 seconds, so you have time to get into the iframe. So yeah, I mean, his skills, they look really cool. They look like they're going to hit really hard, but that all defense down not applying to World Boss Ultimate, I don't see him being super useful there. I mainly see him just being able to push a lot higher in Shadowland now, because you can do the all defense down there in Shadowland, and that should really help. So he might be another like higher floor clear for you in Shadowland if you get this uniform. and then possibly in PvP. But again, I haven't used him in PvP to really know. So let me know in the comments below if you got this uniform. Is he better than I'm thinking? Because just reading the skill effects and then going off of how he's performing without the uniform, I just don't see this being enough of an upgrade to make him kind of more appealing for any of the game modes. He still is probably just going to be like a kind of average character in those game modes, and just a better support because you get the extra 15% max HP with the uniform. That's pretty much the uses I see for him. I could be dead wrong. I mean, let me know in the comments below, because I don't really plan on picking up this uniform based off of what I'm seeing, but I could be swayed if you guys let me know that it's a lot better than I'm thinking. But for right now, I do not plan on picking up this uniform. And again, it's just my opinion, just my thoughts based on looking at the skill animations, reading the text changes, playing with the character a little bit without the uniform, and just I've been playing the game, you know, almost since launch, so I kind of you just get a feeling about how certain characters will perform even without using them actually in the content. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video here. I've rambled on enough, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.